Baldur's Gate 3 is a really fun game, enjoyed by millions of fans of the old franchise and newcomers like myself. The amount of player choice, reactivity, and possibility of the game is absolutely insane. With the celebration of the game's first year anniversary comes another set of statistics to let us know what our community have been up to. Some of the stats show us that who among the companions had the most kissing scenes. I'm actually part of the majority. I went for Shadowheart in my first playthrough. A lot of you had your intimate moments with Halsin, while 30% of you got freaky with the bear. Petted our best boy Scratch 120 million times, as you should. Plus, there are still a lot of things that you can find out for the 1-year anniversary statistics, so I'll be providing all of the links below. For today, we'll be focusing on something much more glaring. Since the release of Honor Mode, we only got 141,660 players that successfully conquered it, while upwards of 1 million ended up in total defeat. I mean, that's gonna be around less than 10% give or take got the achievement in comparison to the defeat numbers. I'll be giving you the 5 reasons why you can't beat Honor Mode with some tips and tricks to finally help you get that achievement. Without further ado, let's get to it. We're gonna start with the most obvious, that is your build just sucks. I'm not trying to flame anybody here, but this is one of the mistakes that really messes up your playthroughs. I mean, most of the meme builds that you see around won't normally work. I'm sure you've encountered this before. These are the types that screams high damage build, focused on pushing the highest damage number as possible, telling you that it can obliterate your target so hard your PC bursts into flames, including you in a fiery inferno, burning down your house and everything around it, while engulfing the planet in noxious gases, killing millions of people. Sorry, I went overboard there.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, what I mean is that meme builds that you find around normally doesn't work. While it's really fun to play most of them in your regular playthroughs, most of them are only viable for the late game acts. And like 80 to 90% of them are next to useless in actual fight. Baldur's Gate 3 is a TRPG in nature, so one-shot builds may be viable on turn 1. They're most likely dead or useless after that. Don't get me wrong, I'm also a one-shot build enjoyer like any other dude. But in Honor Mode, you're just gonna need something more useful. If you're wondering what it is a useful build, my opinion is that it's this type of builds are powerful not just in combat, but it's quite effective off combat as well. Most of these builds are charisma focused like warlocks or sorcerers, or maybe a combination of both. Definitely gonna be noticeable, especially if you're gonna do a lot of interactions with NPCs. Not even an exaggeration that you can finish the game by just using your talk no jutsu art.
Calm down, Naruto.
Shut up! Far as I'm concerned, he's enemy number 1! You were the most important thing in the world to him, and he meant nothing to you! He threw his life away. And for what? A broken tool. Man, that's so wrong.
You talk too much. Your words cut deep. Deeper than any blade.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Second is that you're gonna need a build that can go online really early with minimal gear so you don't get forced into weird situations just to get that missing piece of your build. I have a couple of team comps that you might want to try around. I'll be linking all of the builds in the description below. Speaking of getting into weird situations, this will bring us to our second reason.
Alright, chums, I'm ready, guys. Let's do this. Leroy Dragons! Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him! Oh geez, stick and clean! Oh Jesus.
You're going full on YOLO and that's not good. Honor Mode is just quite different because it only has one save slot, and dying in a fight results to an auto save. So once you wipe, you're done. As much as I love mowing down enemies without a care in the world, it just doesn't work that way unless you have these builds right here. These are some examples of unconventional team comps if you want to cheese your way through Honor Mode. If we're gonna go with the conventional let's see what happens strategy, most likely it would mess you up sooner or later. You're gonna need some level of strategy and repositioning in order for you to not get that game over. One of the strategies I recommend once you unlock Withers, always have a hireling standby. With classes of Druid and Cleric, you can use the Druid spell Goodberry for free food, especially in the early game. Hero's Feast is a more powerful version of the Goodberry. It provides advantages as well as free food. For the Cleric, Warding Bond and Aid are quite useful. This means that every long rest, just slot in and hireling, set up the buffs to maximize your advantage as much as possible. Another tactic that I recommend is always have a rogue in your party or a class that can reposition quickly when everything breaks down. With the help of Cunning Action, Shadow Step, most likely you'll be able to get away even if 90% of your party is dead. If you manage to go back to your camp, you can always resurrect them provided that you have the gold. Talking about gold and resurrecting and respecking in general, I highly advise you steal the gold back from Withers whenever you can. The lower the amount, the better, to avoid failing, and this will help you especially if you're low on cash. Third reason is something quite obvious but people still get it wrong. That's actually picking your battles. I totally get it that you're a god gamer and play on the highest level 24/7. Sometimes even the best gets carried away. Honor mode is all about finishing it and getting the achievement, so you'll need to pick your targets carefully. Baldur's Gate 3 is a TRPG nature, so we have the advantage on not getting random encounters. So if you feel that it's too risky or you don't need the item to drop, well, the better choice is not taking the risk. Most likely you'll just need the minimum XP for every act, so you don't need to go full on Terminator and kill everything in the area. Anyway, Act 3 will give you plentiful of XP to get you to that max level. Again, it doesn't matter one bit even if you didn't kill every enemy in the game. For as long as you finish it and get the achievement, that's what counts. Fourth will be you're not using your consumables properly. I think we've all been spoiled and had this experience before, looting everything that is not nailed down to the ground, every rock, skeleton, corpse that we can find, just to clutter our inventory with junk to sell, including those potions, elixirs, grenades, coatings, and even barrels for the barrel mancers out there. The game has some really impressive consumables that you can use, from the really good ones like the Elixir of Hill Giant Strength that increases your strength to 24, Elixir of Viciousness for the crits, and my favorite, the Elixir of Bloodlust for extra action on kill. Most likely the duration of these elixirs is until long rest. The elixirs that I mentioned are just the tip of the iceberg. There are still many more powerful ones for every occasion. You can get more resistances to certain elements, replenish your spell slots, and get even more buffs. Not to mention the grenades are really fun to use. Most of those deal force damage in a wide AoE, so you can strategically blow away your targets, prep the battlefield to your advantage with your AoE effects, or maybe if you're into melee attacks, poison coating is your thing. This type of consumables are used for weapon coatings that can deal damage or debuff to your enemies for a duration. Most likely it's a 10-turn duration, so you need to use it during your fight. Here's a really nice tip if you're going to be using your consumables a lot. Just summon Hireling with wizard classes. Even in low levels, you can focus on the transmutation school, giving you the passive experimental alchemy. This will give you an extra chance to make 2 consumables instead of 1. Just make sure to specialize in medicine to maximize the effect. Finally, the most important reason you can't beat honor mode, that is bad RNG. Sadly, this is something out of our control most of the time, as Baldur's Gate 3 is a game of dice rolls and percentage. There's always a chance you'll get bad RNG. I've experienced this numerous times before, and it's just totally frustrating. Or better yet, you accidentally trigger the worst ending for a certain scenario and you get mobbed by so many high-level enemies. One example that I can give you without spoiler is Kaga's Shadow Druid questline. If you mess it up, most likely your playthrough is over. Most of these are annoying bugs and glitches that certainly ruin your honor mode session. In the end, it's still a game of chance, so better use the foolproof game plan of blowing up Gale in the final fight. I know a lot of people did this, so why not? And that's it guys, thank you for watching the 5 reasons why you didn't beat honor mode. If you guys have any more tips and tricks for the community that you might want to share, would love to know all about it, including your questions and clarifications in a comment below. Shoutouts for all the people who subscribe and keep supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys for all the amazing support. And for all the people who haven't subscribed yet, thank you for watching my videos, and I hope I earn your subscriptions in the future. But if I earn it today, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me directly, join button is below, or maybe Patreon if you want to go that route. Do you want to know what are the top mods for July? Or if you're still looking for Baldur's Gate 3 builds, I have the top 10 best builds that I would recommend. Just click those videos right here. Finally, that's it for me. I'll see you soon on the next Master Buck Show. Peace out. Bye guys.